All right. Well, we excited. We welcome everyone that streaming by social media as well as watching this broadcast. We have a broadcast that airs in the tri-state area, and we're going to pick back up where we left off on last midweek teaching, marriage maintenance, and today we're also going to get into some teaching concerning soul ties. But what we want to do is start off with a question. One of our ambassadors have a question. Not, I won't say it like that, but we're going to do a brief Q&A. We're going to get into the teaching, and then hopefully we'll stop at the end and do another Q&A. So we're going to have that question presented to us now. And Dr. Nay and I, we certainly appreciative of you being able to stream in. And those on YouTube, remember to click like, subscribe, and we got a mission, got a goal. We want to get at least 1,000 subscribers. That way we won't have to use certain apps to go live anytime, because I got some Q&A I want to do throughout the day and things like that, and I just pop up and do it. That's the reason why there's no ulterior motive. So we appreciate you doing that, and we're getting up there, and we're pretty new to doing things this way, so y'all just help us out.
And
so yeah, go ahead.
Also, what I wanted to say, also on YouTube, there's a bell, I believe it's in the upper right-hand corner. So after you have subscribed, you can click on that bell and you'll be notified anytime that we'll come on.
Definitely have notifications. Those in Zimbabwe, South Africa, Australia, other places that are hooking up with us, that are sending us messages on via Facebook platform. We appreciate you. And also, if you're on YouTube Live and you're not on Facebook or Instagram, we do have a study group page on Facebook. We have a study group page, a closed group. If you want to join that page, you have to, Dr. Nay, how you do that?
In order to join the EOFKC study group page, you can either inbox myself, Dr. Larry, or someone who's connected to the ministry, and then one of us will add you. And then there are a few questions that we want you to answer, right. And then you'll get the approval that way. Right,
because it's a study group page for scholars. It's not a debating page, not for nobody to prove their point, why they worship on a certain day or why they don't eat donuts or whatever. It's not for that. It's for scholars who are aspiring students, scholars.
Right.
Okay, so that question was?
Someone asked a question.
Yes.
You can start off with that one for right now.
Okay.
Or maybe two.
Okay, so last week you talked about care.
Last week we talked about care. You can repeat it, Dr.
You started talking about captivation, and one of the things that was taught was to continue doing the things that you did to get them and things of that nature. So how do you balance that with the other principle of not having expectations and how do you balance that?
That's a good question. So basically she just asked, for those who couldn't clearly hear, how do you balance doing the things that you first did when you first got together, doing those things, and then balance that of not having expectations? So I will deal with the part of doing the things that you first did. Oftentimes when you're in a relationship, after a period of time, things get too common. And so sometimes when things get too common, you just do any old thing, or you may not do anything at all. So men, they're hunters by nature, right? So we need to make sure that I'm carrying myself in a way that he does want to still pursue me, that I'm still captivating him. He's still, I'm still the apple of his eye, that I'm making myself presentable. I'm still keeping myself up. I don't want to just, and I know we like to relax and everything, but we need to look good for our husbands. It's not just based on the outside, but we don't need to look like Annie Mae also. I want to make sure we want to talk about that. So okay. The part about expectation?
Yeah, and I see what you're at about the balance, because care, when you care for someone, you do things for them, you feel the way you feel about them, not because you love them, but because you care for them, because love is in us automatically. And most marriages, teaching is based on love, and that's not the key to successful marriage. The key to successful marriage is knowledge. So people love each other but can't live in the same house with one another. So when you care for someone, you doing things for them, not expecting them to do anything for you. That's the key right there. Mm-hmm. So in terms of doing the things you were doing, you know, and like Dr. Renee was saying, you did it because you wanted to. They didn't ask you to do it, they just did it. You surprised them. Yes. And you was doing it, if you was doing it right, you didn't expect them to do nothing back for you. So on that end right there, whatever you were doing, you continue to do that. And what happens so many times is that, especially younger couples, they'll do stuff. Well, I did this and he didn't respond, or she didn't respond. Well, you didn't start off like that. I mean, you made them respond. You did things that caused them to respond to you. So the true meaning for love, or caring type love, is whatever you're doing it with no expectation. You made a choice to do what you were doing. You made a choice to meet their need, even they didn't even ask you to meet their need. You know, so to balance that is to make sure that we don't get start keeping account of stuff. You know, I do for you, you do for me. There's a 50-50, stuff like that. You know,
it's 100.
Right. You just get all that out of the way.
Yeah.
I mean, you do it. I'm not saying you, but we, the individuals, you do what you do because you chose to do it. And if we keep doing that, now you're doing it as unto Yahweh. Just like agreeing with the husband being the senior leader as unto Yahweh. Remember, he said, submitting yourselves to your husband as unto. So the as unto is making reference to the same thing. Whatever you are doing, you're doing it as a choice. And the choice that your foundation that you basing your choice on is the knowledge that you get from the word of Yahweh, the knowledge of the word of Elohim. So whatever we do it as unto, or based on the knowledge that I'm receiving from the word. And that make the marriage successful, because knowledge is the key. Everything is based on my knowledge I'm getting. And the balance will be pretty easy if you do it like that. Just don't expect anything. And that's a critical area, I think, because most are taught to, well, if he don't do nothing, don't you be doing it. You just doing too much for him. You do it because you choose to, and you doing it based on knowledge, and you operating true care, and you expressing the heart of the Father, vice versa. The man is expressing the heart of the Father. I don't do stuff for my wife so she can be intimate. I don't do stuff to make her, not have a headache. That's not my motive. I do it as unto the word, because the word is what gives me instructions on how to do it. And when I do that, then the word deal with her and make sure that she have an understanding in terms of responding, or she just responds. Same thing with me. Now, that's why I'm not saying not to, like Dr. Renee was saying, keep yourself up. That don't mean, doing everything the world do, dressing sexual, seductive and stuff like that. Right. If you do it, make sure it's in the house and the kids don't see you, Make sure it's in the house, the kids not at home, get as sex as you want to get, you get buck if you want to. And whatever, and that's between you all. See, marriage is very honorable, right, and is discreet, and is not to be put on sexual display like most of the stuff we see based on our culture. So Dr. Renee, I'm not going to tell you. Maybe she can tell the ladies, some things, but anyway, and I don't tell, because that's you know what I'm saying?
Right.
All right, so do that, please. But what I'm seeing is that keeping up in that stuff is competition with other women out here.
Exactly.
To keep his eye on you instead of them, and you being just like them, or vice versa. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right. One more thing I want to add, and then you can ask the second question that you have. One thing that you said, I need to make sure as a wife that I'm complimenting him. So when he goes out, he's full of compliments. We'll get into this a little bit later, but he's not needing to be complimented by other women because he's taken care of at home. He goes out full. Does that make sense? So he compliments me. So when I go out, it's not my goal to look my best for everybody else. It's my goal to make sure that I'm looking good for him. I dress the way that he likes me to dress for him.
Right, and I'm not one of these guys that want my wife to dress like a trophy.
Right.
you know,
Right.
because I'm born again for real. So and that you know what that ties to? It's gonna tie to and y'all please stay open. It's gonna tie to the culture of the kingdom. The kingdom is not coming, the kingdom is here. And what is the kingdom? The kingdom is the influence of the culture of heaven on me as I live it out. The kingdom is me obeying the laws of the kingdom. You understand? So with every culture, there come it's fashion with every culture. It's what the foods you eat, the clothes you wear is based on culture. Now we supposed to colonize the earth with the kingdom of heaven culture. And Adam and Masa, and Neged, they were not buck naked like people say they were. Because I know what people getting. Well, they showed all their bodies. The scripture said they was naked and not ashamed. See, that's a translation of the scripture. They had glorified bodies with a covering. Yes, they did. And if you want to know how to look, read the book of Isaiah and Revelation and the description of Yeshua's body. It don't say nothing about his six-pack showing. It don't say nothing about his private part showing or anything like that, does it? No. And the body that he has looks like the one that the first Adam possessed. And the glory, and I can show you in scripture, were their covering. Okay? So so by me being in the presence, I don't look to the world and see what they're wearing and want her to wear that.
Yeah.
You know, so that's one thing the young men really got to get. Now, I'm very patient on it because you've been brought up in that. To you, it's normal. Yeah. It don't mean nothing. Oh, that ain't nothing. Bro, that's soft porn, though. But bro can't see that because bro was raised up in soft porn. Mm-hmm. You know, so when it come across as though it's hard. But what I'm finding out, Dr. Nay, is that the more understanding I get of the kingdom concepts, the more understanding I get of the kingdom culture, it's easier for me to see the culture of the world and say, I don't want to do that. Okay?
Yes.
You know, and so how you built, I mean, you know, for the most part, Black American women, they built, you know, and these clothes are not made for y'all.
Nope.
And you go put some on, like my wife put some on, the waist, I mean, I can put my whole arm down in the waist because they're too big because they're not made big enough, you know, to cover. You know, so she'll put them on and they fit, but in the waist they all too big. And then and she'll tell you she just hate it. She hates shopping because she can't get clothes that fit. These clothes were made for ladies with no buttocks, flat butt. You know, and that's popular now, being flat and no thighs and no this and no that. And y'all go stick them on and you catch a lot of problems. So that area there is not talking about keeping my eye away from the house. She wear different things that I really like, make her look discreet, make her look educated, and make her look like she valuable. So it's not the sex thing. That's for me and her. She can just pull her clothes off. I can see that. I don't need her doing all that in public, and she don't need to do that. Is that correct?
Correcto.
All right. So what's the other one?
What's your second question? Did that help out? Okay, good. What's your second question? She said,
That's fine for now.
We'll get to that one later.
We
got to chew on. She allowed everybody to chew on that one. You sensed it, didn't you? Yeah, she sensed that one in the realm of the spirit. Somebody got to chew on that. But that's how you balance. Number one, take away doing things expecting something to be done in return. Because Yeshua did what he did because he cared for us and he didn't expect anything in return.
Right. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. I wasn't trying.
Go ahead.
Okay, so in light of what he was just saying, the reason why I'm making sure that I'm not just doing it to get something in return, that's manipulation. We're not into witchcraft. So either I'm going to do this to him or for him or whatever because I care for him. I really do genuinely care. I'm not going to do certain things to make him be intimate with me. That's manipulation, and vice versa. It doesn't work like that. Right,
because I'll always be losing. If I'm just saying, because Renee, I can say something, I look up, there it is. I mention something, there it is. I mean, you know, so, you know, and what I do with her to motivate her to do that, I'm in it genuinely. And from the day we got together, I told her it was some things I've been wanting to do for a long time, but I just hadn't got with nobody that was worthy of it.
Come on.
That unlocked my heart, and so I can do it because I want to. In other words, it's a choice, not because somebody told me, because I got in stuff because people advised, and they told. No, I said, this time, I'm making the choice this round. You know, and I'm gonna make sure it's someone that I want to do all the things I want to do for them. So the things I do, you know, I'm trying to, you know, just get everything in place. Like she just mentioned some last week. I said, wait a minute, now I'm 10 years down the road working on this for you. Now you done changed. Now you have to give me more warning than that, because everything is grooved toward that, and I'm doing it because I care. It's good to be with someone that whatever you're doing for them, you can do it with no expectation in return. You're doing it because you care for them. That's when you're married to the right person. They're doing the same thing for you, and you have great success. So I appreciate that question, because we like atmospheres like this.
As far as change is concerned, I always remind him that there are 4 different ways the wind blows, so I can change my mind at least 3 or 4 times. So.
Well, my dad said that's I'm gonna tell you something. Women change like the wind, sonny. You don't ever be too sure about something. All right, okay. So be sure that we get that other question before we get through. All right, so Proverbs 20, 4:3-5. Miss Leah. We're talking about marriage maintenance. So this foundational scripture about wisdom, a house. We pointed out last week the word house actually is Bayet or Bev. That actually spells the second letter of the Hebrew alphabet, which is a word. Mm-hmm. So, and it means what's inside. Like this is a house, this structure. The people who live here are part of this house. Okay, so he said a house is built, and it's by wisdom a house is built, right?
Yes.
And we talked about what wisdom, and it don't hurt to continue to mention it. Knowledge is information. Wisdom is what? Application.
Yeah.
Understanding is what? What is understanding, doctor? Huh? I see you. You're not saying that. Oh, the other doctor over there. Got 2 doctors over illumination.
Doctors in the house. Come on.
Illumination. So that's the key way you can remember. Knowledge is information. Wisdom is application. Understanding is illumination. And watch this. Only the Holy Spirit can give illumination. That's why we depend on him. Yeah. So it's built through wisdom, application, through illumination, understanding. It is established. It's connected. By knowledge, its rooms are filled with all kinds of precious. It didn't say by love, but it said by what?
Knowledge.
By knowledge, its rooms are. What room is? The house, the family. That family, those that are living in that home with that father, that mother, those children. Or if you're single, if you're living in that house, then it's you and whoever that's in there with you. It's going to be established and won't be able to be destroyed. And see, this is important, this word established, because the 6th word of the covenant, the 10 statements of the covenant that Yahweh gave to Moshe, the 6th one was that you should not murder. And the 6th letter of the Hebrew alphabet is Vav. Mm-hmm. And Vav means to connect or establish. So murder is to break that connection. You understand? Mm-hmm. So if a house is established through understanding, illumination, that means that family can't be broken apart.
Yeah.
See, families are broken as a result of a lack of understanding. Understanding is a lack of being in the presence of the Holy Spirit to get illumination, understand how things work. So people do different things and have different ideas and perceptions of family, and they just split apart.
Right.
Okay. All right. Now, so we want to look at this again, and we're just gonna review and get into soul ties. Okay. But this is a picture of a what? That's a picture.
Also, I know most of you who are watching at this time you cannot see, but there's a picture of a recipe, famous sour cream pound cake recipe. Y'all can try that if you want to. Oh,
my wife can cook this pound cake.
But that's not my recipe.
And her mother, and Sheba, our daughter. We got 3 people that can cook these pound cakes.
We have a pound cake ministry.
Hey, when I go to Savannah, Georgia, my pound cake is waiting on me.
Yes, she does.
Alicia know how to do it, boy.
Yes.
And then Renee, sling that pound is sitting right there. And I don't know, is Demetrius getting them or not? But anyway, go ahead, Dr. Nate.
Okay, so
She looked at.
so this is an example of a recipe, and so when we're talking about marriage, marriage is it's made up of different ingredients. And so even just like this pound cake here, if you have the ingredients but you don't know how to apply it, you really gonna have a mess.
You're not gonna get the cake.
Right.
We got this picture in our mind of this grand, great marriage relationship. This
Final product.
right. This 5'7" guy, 194 pounds, built like a rock. Intelligent,
Yeah.
writer, author, entrepreneur.
It sounds like you.
Great husband, father. And this voluptuous 5'11" woman. Braids, nice, voluptuous eyes, shiny lips. I tell you, that girl got the hips and everything else to go with the package. You got that in mind, and you live in this great grand house, and all of that is that cake right there. We could have put a big wedding cake up there. Spending $20,000-$30,000 on the wedding, already got it planned out. You know exactly. Matter of fact, you meditate more on how your wedding gonna be than you do on how to stay married. You see, but what happens? The key ingredients, knowledge of the key ingredients.
Right.
There is no knowledge of that. If you don't know how to make that, you'll never get there. So that's the perception of most who say I do to something they don't know how to do. They see the cake, but they don't know anything about the ingredients, how to get it there. Yeah, so we just want to review that. That's what we got the picture there.
Yeah.
So let's just run through the carols right quick. We did these last week. Carol, C is what?
Okay, C was for captivation. We were talking about keep your spouse captivated by doing the first things that you did when you first met. And
and we started off with that, and we dealt with that one.
Okay, all right. And then also, that's talking about having eyes only for your spouse. 2019, we have to say that.
So that's right. So you don't look at somebody else's wife and want yours to braid their hair like she braid hers.
Right.
I mean, that means you're not in it. You're in it for the wrong reason. And when that leave, you leave. Okay, affirmation.
Okay, A is for affirmation. Provide the emotional support and encouragement to your spouse. And we got into this a little bit, just basically saying if the wife seemed like she is emotional absent in the bedroom, it could be possibly that the husband is emotionally absent outside of the bedroom, and the two work together.
Right. The next one is respect.
Okay, respect and responsibility, rest and relaxation. All right, so with respect, we were talking about offenses, making sure that we stay free of offense because offense will cause disrespect. Remember to resolve offenses and don't cover them up. Responsibility, it's my responsibility to make sure that I work on myself. I can't control him. If I want him to change, that's up to him to change. I can't make him change. I can only control me. And then rest and relaxation. It's important to do things together as a couple, and then do things that both of you enjoy doing.
Right. And that's where balance, like the question started off.
Yeah.
That's what, when you care, you don't want to do what you want to do all the time. And you don't want to do what you want to do all the time. And there's no arguing about that because you actually care for the person. Now, if you in a relationship because you didn't want to be by yourself, or you always wanted to be married, or you always wanted to have a house, or you always wanted to do that, then you're gonna always want to do what you want to do. And typically, because we do a lot of counseling, the wife is the one who wants the husband to do what she want to do. And she gets sick and lose hair and gain weight, lose weight, go through all this stuff because he don't never want to do what I want to do. And then he always playing the game. Then talk to him, well, she just nag all the time. And she should just come be with me. And she don't do this and she don't do that. See, it's a lack of knowledge. She was like, now with Sharon, Dr. May mentioned about by nature, we are hunters. We are conquerors. We establish our own territory. And because of the absence of the father, then instead of the sons being brought up, actually hunting, with a rabbit hunting, deer hunting, bird hunting, duck hunting, something.
They hunting all right.
And fishing, getting outside of the house, and helping fulfill that appetite with his father and mother, because families do things together. Now the game industry have took advantage of it, and they got him sitting up there in the den somewhere with some headphones on up to 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning on a game because he's trying to conquer something. And it's destroying his marriage, wasting his money, steal a little boy. It's just, and it's a probably $1 billion industry at this point. The gaming industry, because what the enemy does, what the world system does, is take advantage of things that they know. Men are designed by nature to hunt, capture, conquer, compete, and that's what's in. And ladies, y'all need to understand that's why it's an addiction. He's addicted to that because he can do that and hunt, and compete with that without being nagged. You see, and so if you don't have something else that's in proper order to help fulfill those desires, then it's off balance. And what my wife did, she still don't know how to work the controls, but she still come up there and try it. Cause we talked about
Pac-Man.
Oh yeah, we love Pac-Man. We do that together.
Does that count?
We don't even play anything. Like we go out and we out somewhere,
Yeah.
we going straight to the Pac-Man machine.
Yeah.
We both and we own it. But I think our daughter, who's the, I think Alicia was the last one to learn.
Yeah.
She was on the end of the line. I think Caleb was beating Alicia when he was little in Israel. I think he was about 2 beating Alicia on the game. But anyway, she learned then there she is up there going forward, So
It was too much. It was making me dizzy. I couldn't do that.
yeah, I get dizzy now when I do it. I just can't take it because they got the TVs are bigger and bigger. See when he's okay, but anyway, we wanted to get at the core of it is that men's by nature are competitors.
Right.
They hunters, and then so if you're not doing things, find something to help him be fulfilled in terms of conquering something, overcoming a challenge, something like that. You can be wise and be influential as a wife to get involved in. It don't have to be a game, something else, and that'll feed him away from you and wean him off of that. You see, and then male, you can get her if she like that. I got a rare wife. She don't like shopping. I got a precious wife. She do not like shopping and being in stores. Rare, precious, valuable, highly valuable. She don't like all that stuff.
Okay.
But if your main thing, because women are watchers, and women are motivated by sight and what they see. That's why the fashion industry and the shopping industry makes so much money off of you. You get all them clothes in there because you see something, you want it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what's going on. You see something, you want it. So, if you want to be out and doing stuff like that, so you got a seer and you got a hunter. Now you got to find something that'll fit the seer, watcher, and the hunter competitor. You see, and it's like daughters. We taught them to play basketball purposely because when they got married, I want them to be able to do some sports with their husband because I know if they got a husband that like athletics, then they would be able to do that with them. If they got a husband like fishing, we got them fishing poles and everything, took them whether they do it or not. We was doing all that purposely, grooming them so they'll be able to be a good fit.
Right.
You see.
Be sure to block their shot, ladies. If you I
think Leisha and block Leisha.
It'll elevate your game on and off court.
I think she'd have snatched the Demetrius shot down a couple times. Notorious, she out to work on her hops to get DJ. But and then the last one we dealt with, there's 4 R's in the R for care, and then we got the E, which was what? Environment.
That's
huge.
This is really important. Creating an environment that stimulates what you want. Instead of complaining about it, we can do something about that.
We got to clean up the house. We didn't get to this one, did we?
Just a little bit.
We didn't get to this one. Come on, read what you this. Now she did this.
Here it is.
She did this. Walk in the park.
Oh, we love that. Clean up the house.
Clean up the house.
Look.
Clean up the house.
Yes, clean it up. Because it makes the atmosphere just so much better when everything is in
Order, yeah.
order. Yeah. Surprise with a dinner for two, and then also you have a prayer walk, just different things, whatever it is that you think that you can do that will be nice for the two of you.
Environment is a stimulant.
Yes.
Epigenetics is a science, and the outside environment stimulate the inward, and how to get into us emotionally or spiritually is in our belief system.
Right.
Is you could say a type of stem cell or gene that things are activated through our belief system, and things come into our belief system from the outside. It's an outside idea, a precept or idea that something we see or receive from the outside, and it stimulates us. Mm-hmm. So, like Dr. May was saying, having success, more than being pretty and fine and all that stuff. Excuse me, but you pretty, but you won't. Make your bed up. Sweep the floor. Wash your car. Stuff like that. Your environment will stimulate certain things.
Yeah.
Pleasantness. When I say clean up, I'm just not talking about the ladies only. I do things around here. I put a bleach out and that's because I'm ex-military, so I like stuff clean and all that. I tell my wife, I don't want you pushing that real hard like that. I don't want you handling that like that. I'll take care of that part, and I'll do that part. So everything in your home, the environment should be conducive to a wholesome, healthy relationship between the two of you. You see it? Mm-hmm. Don't have water, pot, smoking marijuana in there, and you got pictures of liquor bottles and Beyonce on the wall. You're not stemming. You're not going to be successful like that. That's very important that you look in there.
Wait, before we go on, also wanted to talk about this in the environment. Making sure that outside influences don't cause problems between you and your spouse, and that's
Mama.
Oh.
Cause Dad ain't gonna talk that much. It normally be Mama.
Right.
Am I right?
That's true.
Now, not this one here, because
right.
I make sure she keep everything, here.
Yeah.
We dealt that, but
and
typically.
I purposely do that because if there is something going on between my husband and I, we may make up, and then if I told my mom about it, she may be looking at him cross-eyed. I'm like,
and I got a great mother-in-law. Mother Lisa, don't mess up now. But I got a great mother-in-law. Great. She never did that.
Right. To
this day that I know about. Now, I don't know what's, that I know about. That's even right. When she was here and she come in staying home and stuff like that, I would tell Mother Lisa, I just appreciate you so much. Because you don't try to, run stuff.
Right.
Or you don't be telling Renee this. She stay out of that.
That's right.
And she thanked me all the time for being the husband, father I am to her daughter, and taking care of her so well, and treating her the way I treat her, and being an example and stuff like that. She really appreciate that, and I always tell her, I appreciate you for not being that type of mother that got your lips where they don't need to be at. Because I deal with stuff, and I put my family in check. And whether you like my wife or not, I didn't marry you. I don't sleep with you. That's you.
Oh yeah.
You ain't paying nothing here. If you were paying something, you'd be living here. So this is what I like, and if you're not happy for me and with me for what I like and what makes me happy,
take a number.
That tell me something about you.
A whole lot of them ain't happy.
That tell me something about you too.
Yeah.
You're not a friend, you're an enemy.
Yeah.
See, your friend will always want to see you successful.
That's right.
Your friend will always want to see you with a smile on your face. If it's your best friend, your mama, daddy, Uncle Charlie, Sue on the third cousin side from the 6th district and all that kind of stuff, if they don't want to see you happy, whether they got your last name or not, that is not your friend. Mm-hmm. And we got to learn to surround ourselves with friends. I don't know why we get family get an exempt certificate or something. Can be evil as the devil himself. Oh, that's my family.
Right.
I mean, what? So you going to hell with them too?
There was something, since we're in this vein, there was something I used to think, like when we first got married, I thought, oh man, his family and my family, we're all going to connect together and we're going to be this big family. No.
Nope and nope. Those are her thoughts now, not mine.
Yeah. Because, you want to talk about how...
You drank to that?
You drank it again. What's in that cup?
Do like Israel. We were having Shabbat. I'm gonna go and tell it. We was
Oh,
doing
my
our Shabbat
goodness.
covenant meal, and I bought some wine. Alcohol had been taken out of it. And Israel, he was waiting, boy. He was just blushing. He said he had turned his head. He was blushing so hard, boy.
That's the 11-year-old.
That's 11-year-old. He did like Demetrius did that time when he was on this what was it, Facebook? He was praying and answering questions and ministering, you know. And then while he was teaching, Dr. Nate put on there, "It's time for Shabbat." We was watching it too. Demetrius, look. He said, "Okay, pray for yourself. Gotta go." Amen. Hallelujah. Pray. Yes, sir.
It normally takes about 12 minutes for him to get here, but not that night.
I looked up, Demetrius, what you doing there?
But you were telling about Israel.
Yeah, Israel, he was blushing so hard. He couldn't wait for us to do the prayer. We did that prayer. Israel grabbed that, you know, when we do the Shabbat Shalom, Shalom, Israel took that glass, whoop. We'll talk about that some more. That was so funny. So, where are we, Renee?
Making sure that the bond between the two of us
Right.
is greater.
It's greater than that outside. And remember we was teaching about
Yes.
family?
Right.
See, that Talidia, over in Genesis 5:1, when he talk about Adam's family, that word family is talking about his descendants. Okay, so one word for family is descendants or association by name. It's not talking about the husband, wife, and children. There are different words for family.
Right.
So outside influences primarily come from mama, daddy, sister, you know, mainly mama and sister, and then, you know, other people talking and your friends and stuff like that. Because men typically don't talk a lot, and you do have some gossiping, girl acting men also that keep mess going. I'm not going to dismiss men out of that. But they trying to tell, oh, girl, you know this, and you shouldn't take this, and you shouldn't this, and you shouldn't that. And they just work on you. And the brother is really the right one for you, but he's just ignorant. He dumb. He need to learn some things.
Yeah.
And she talked you out of that, you know, or cause all these problems. And then after a while, he said, I tell you what, you take that ring, here, you take this ring, take it, huh? I want you to go put on your mama finger. Now you go sleep with her and y'all have a great life. Cause I'm out, and men walk away. I
Right.
talk to them. They just say I'm not going back there. She can go sleep with her mama. I'm not going back there. Period. I'm not going there with Sally. I mean, not Sally. It used to be Sally Mae, but these days it's Shanika, Aku, or something like that. They down the street where they say, at least I got some peace. I said, man, but you living out of the presence. I mean, you out of order. He said, yeah, man, but I'd rather have peace and go back down there. You know, and deal with her and her mama and her friend and all of this. And see, Shanika Koo, I'm making these names up because your name may be Shanika, but it's not a Shanika Koo. So Shanika Koo, you know, she sat there and talking, no nagging and no demands and no
Listening.
expectations and listening,
Being
having
attentive.
having fun with him, you know, driving him.
Complimenting.
Right, sitting with him on the car, leaning all on him and stuff like that.
Giving
Now-
it up all the time.
Right, and you won't lean over because he didn't do something you expected. You sitting in the car straight and mad, but Shanika Koo all on him, see? Yeah, stuff like that. So outside influences can be a big hindrance. Now let's move on to soul ties.
Okay.
All right, and we can always come back there. We just give them some practical things, and what Dr. Renee was saying, the Hebrew words for family, mishpakia, and then another one is shimpakia. That second one, it means to actually spread out.
Yeah.
You see, now the man, remember it says hunters and competitors.
Right.
By nature, when a man, when he spread, he established his own house, his own family.
Yeah.
Families don't bridge together. That's not it.
That's what TV taught me, I guess.
You can't spread like that. This one, he started his family, go in his house and do his thing. This one started his, go in his family. They don't come together. You get messes like we have. You know, so that's why when our daughter, at least the first one get married, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, first one get married. I mean, that was understood. Look, I don't go. Renee go over your house more than I do.
True.
I didn't even barely know where they stayed at. You know, I was asking, man, what's the address again? Because that's that man's house. He need to get his stuff established. He need to set his stuff up. That's his family.
Right.
Mine over here. And we told both of them that my daughter is not here to make your family happy and be trying to please them. And he is not here, Alicia, to make us happy and try to please us. You know, and plus, both of them pastors, so they got to do a role. You see, and so but they're handling it pretty well. So in these areas right here, then you have, you remember that time we had I've had questions asked about, well, should I go to his family house or should he go to my family house? And then the argument coming, well, he went to your family last time. See, you eliminate all that. You eliminate it because ain't no competition. We're just gonna go where we feel most comfortable at.
Right.
And if the family that you was a part of, if they treating you like a stranger and got people around who hate you and stuff, I don't go.
Yep.
You know, Dad, you coming so and so? No, I'm not coming because I don't like the people you have over there. I'd rather be around people that like me.
Right.
Point blank. So if you want me to come, don't, because it's gonna be
my frenemies.
Don't invite my frenemies because I'm not coming.
Right.
I'm not going no contentious strife or atmosphere. I stay away from stuff like that. And I ain't no punk. I don't back down from nobody.
Okay.
You know, it just don't work like that. And we need to catch this and quit trying to make people love us. And you're looking over the people really concerned about you and the people you're supposed to have in your life. You're looking over them, giving everything to some joker who don't want it.
Yeah.
Anyhow, soul ties. See, we can spend a long time. We're gonna come back and just do the care again.
Before we go to soul ties, are you ready to give your question? It's related to this.
There was a big one that came up when you guys were talking.
Just type it and text it. I think I'll get it or email it or something. We'll get it.
I don't have my.
Oh, yes.
All right.
It was about the hunting.
The hunting.
Because in my mind, I mean, once you get married, for a lot of people, the chase is over. I mean, that's the whole, you got it now. So, I feel like at that point, that's why a lot of people talk about, things change and stuff like that because, there isn't really a chase or anything to chase because you have the one, basically. So, what is that supposed to look like as far as pursuit after you already have captured your wife or, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's the problem with a lot of marriages right now. That is what is opening the door to extramarital affairs right now. Because the wife ceased to keep herself in that position, and the husband, game over. I'm ready for a new game.
That's a good one.
I done beat the top. I done maxed it out. Everything done throw it out. Just like Call of Duty, I maxed everything out they put out there, and I was through. I don't even play Call of Duty, man. It's been years. I ain't touched it.
Think about creative things that you can do together.
Mm-hmm.
Think about things that you can do. We're talking about keeping the excitement there.
Mm-hmm.
We're not just talking about in the bedroom. I mean, you could do some stuff in there too, but I'm just saying outside the bedroom.
No anal.
Oh my God.
Period. No change. Ain't nobody beat nobody. See, cause hey, we watched some TV lately. And we got educated. We didn't get educated. We got educated. And we just went to I said, they doing it. They doing it because they're okay. So we got educated. All this stuff that's on these porn videos and on YouTube and all this stuff these people are doing, that is not of the kingdom.
And if you're married and watching porn together as a form of excitement, check that.
Y'all got some issues.
You gotta put that in check.
You really got some
and
issues.
And it had to be, we have to talk like this.
Yeah.
We have to keep it real.
I'm sorry. I
as
didn't mean to be
possible.
offensive.
Yeah, because
But I do mean to tell the truth. That's an issue.
No.
We getting back to the hunter, but since we in there,
right.
Let's deal with it. You know why people like that? Because of the culture. And the culture is designed to come to a complete full destruction of kingdom of heaven model of what a relationship is. A model woman, Masa Izanigad, a model man that's in the image and likeness of Elohim. See, this culture is designed to take that woman out of the image and likeness of Elohim by any means possible. Same way with the male. So when I was coming up, and we didn't see no women on no commercials on that black and white TV with a woman with a bra on. We didn't see it. Then they started doing it. Cross your heart, the bra. They started doing it. They wouldn't show her face. They wouldn't show her stomach just to cross it. And then next thing you know, they showing the face with it. Okay. Then next thing you know, they start showing the stomach with it. Then next thing you know, they start showing a woman in the panties and bra on TV. You see. And then now it's everything, just everything, and it desensitizes the conscious. The conscious becomes seared. It becomes callous, like dead skin, relative to what the culture of the kingdom expresses and what pattern a woman or man should be in. Right. You understand? So if a person is seeing all this all the time, all you see is booty and titties all day long, you know, and now you got the what you call the thing?
I don't know.
The leggings.
I'm trying to recover. Wait a minute.
I was just looking at not the leggings, all leggings, you showing your butt and everything about it, and you just got a color on. That's all. I mean,
can you say breast next?
Breast. Well, whatever. Y'all know what I'm saying. So when it descends, y'all understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it become common. It become a norm.
Right.
A norm, a set of norms for that culture. That mean it's normal. That's why all the other all the stuff about sexual identification stuff, they doing it to make it what? Normal. Norms are part of a culture in a society. Y'all understand? So if it's like that, and then, so that don't appease nobody, now they got to do this, now they got to sit up and watch porn.
Right.
You know, because you saw too much, did too much, and she got the same thing you see on TV. And see on what you see on TV may look better than what you got. So, and vice versa. So everybody want everything because the mind has been contaminated.
Yeah.
Everything is contaminated with the world culture and the world view of things. And there is no excitement, there is no desire naturally like it should be. Now on the hunter, the male never lose that drive to hunt. He may appear to be that way, and if he is, it's because something was presented to him in an unorderly manner to make him shut down. You understand? So it's not the female, it has something to do with the male, because if he was after you just for your body and stuff, now he done flip you upside down, sideways, and everything he can think, every way he can think of, imagine his mind, all that's over, then what's left? So he went in hunting, breaking laws. And a lot of times it's not the lady. She take care of herself, she do this, she discreet, she is friendly, easy to talk to, but he never was after you for all those other things that you had about yourself. He just wanted to flip you a couple ways. And now he done did his flipping, so he want to go flip somebody else. And he'll go from house to house, flipping, turning, doing this, doing that, and then after a while, that's gonna wear out, you know, and then they go and do other unheard of things. I can tell you want to say something good.
No, I'm still recovering.
So, you know, things like that, and as a lady, don't get in a state of depression or allow pressure to be put on you to try to be and look like and dance like Beyonce. Don't do it.
Right.
Because you see, everywhere he go, he looking. You know what? That boy is in the flesh and he is not in the presence. He probably liked it when you married him. Mm-hmm. And you looked over that because he was so built and stuff like that your eyes was in the wrong place. Because, you know, women are seers. They like what they see. They like what they saw, so they got you. All right, so all these things, we need knowledge of these things in order to get into a relationship. And really, once we find out some stuff, a lot of people, they probably don't want to get married right now.
So here's a question. So do you still open the door for her? Are you still doing that? Or have you ever done it? Maybe you didn't. I don't know. But maybe like get out yourself. I don't know. I don't know what y'all doing. Are you still sending her flowers? And for the lady, what are you doing? Are you doing things to get him excited, you know, to make sure maybe you want to buy him something
like
special?
Talking to him.
Huh?
Like talking.
Okay.
And not demanding.
All right.
You know, and being a friend and not like, where you at? Where you at? I mean, the boy, the guy be talking to me, Pastor, I couldn't even get to the stop sign before I got a text. I said, man, ooh, dog. I'm thinking to myself, boy, you done married a little girl. She ain't grown yet. She wasn't ready for no relationship.
Yeah.
She wants somebody to be around her and pamper her and do this and do this. And And we be on some of the job sites sometimes. Man, y'all just, I don't know. And I be thinking, man, I'm so glad Renee ain't like that. Ooh, wow, ooh, oh, I mean, my, my wife in the garden doing stuff. When I get home, everything is set. But it's not so much as what I'm doing. It's not so much as what she is doing. It's the knowledge we have to make a successful relationship. So that question right there, if he doing it and he stopped, he in it for the wrong thing. Remedial counseling can catch it. It can help it a whole lot because during counseling you get intimate knowledge. While we there, I had a question last week about the pastors telling people they need a pastor and a counselor. Well, I had to say about that. I think we did it. We did it on the closed study group page.
Oh, okay.
We jellyback pastors, don't want to study and teach and get a good team ready to meet the needs of the people. They trying to send them to counselors now. And that is not the word. All right. Mm-hmm. So that's where counseling is needed on that level. And the counseling is not going to be what the studies show. It's going to be knowledge from the word, what a man and how a man is designed for, what a woman and how a woman is designed for, how we'll get knowledge on how to have a successful relationship.
But if he don't know what he's talking about, he might need to go and send him to counseling.
Who did?
Whomever.
Oh yeah, the pastor, send it, because whoever.
Yeah.
They pushing that stuff because they don't know what's going on, and there's a thing about, and they said black churches, and I mentioned it. I did this on the closed study group page.
Okay.
Well, see, black folk have went through something in America that no other people have been through.
That's right. Yeah.
And black people in America are yet damaged emotionally. Mm-hmm. Their minds are hurt, wounded, terrible wounds are yet on the minds and on the souls of black people, inflicted by the evil, hateful European Americans that did it to them, and yet got a system in place to continue to taunt and harass black people. It ain't passed, it's still here. So when you sit in the church, there's just shouting and dancing, it's not fixing you. Actually, that's a stimulator. It's a stimulator that we was talking to one of our mentors on the life coach mentor, right. And he was sharing with us that some people need that as a mental stimulator, right, to help them deal with the pressure, because they can get some joy in shouting or sing then and make them feel better, but it doesn't fix it.
That's right.
And if you go into church on Sunday just to shout and dance and sing and prophesy and all that stuff, you need a whole congregation of counselors, one for each person. But if you are teaching the concepts of the kingdom, teaching the word, have teams set in place, like, the team, I know I'm building a team to do different things now. Now we get to the point where me and my wife don't plan to be counseling everybody. We got people here, we're teaching these young couples, they're growing up, they will handle that. If someone needs some help in them areas, like we're talking about that now, that they got into something, didn't know what they was doing, and they want to get knowledge of it, then that'll be handled like that. But going and making an appointment with Dr. Moon, from Afghanistan somewhere, they got a degree and they don't know nothing about the word.
To add to that, we need to make sure that the body of believers, just based on what you were just saying, that we're not going to churches for that stimulation as a form of entertainment is
right.
What I'm saying.
It is entertainment.
It's getting worse.
Worse.
Sometimes I just want to throw the whole phone away.
And she's a worship leader.
It's terrible.
Prolific singer.
All of that is great.
Matter of fact, everybody in there singing. Man, we got the whole tribe of Judah up in there.
Come on. He bites.
I just had to look.
Almost everybody.
Yep. We got one basketball player, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Basketball player.
So we just have to make sure that we break away from entertainment, because if we're so used to that, when you hear that solid teaching, you're like, oh, that's so, man, it's something missing. No, you need to get rooted.
Yeah, it's something missing.
You need to get rooted and grounded in the word. And
right.
One last thing I wanted to share, it was about 10 years ago, Dr. Larry, when I really found out how he truly, truly cared for me, when I was in that car accident, mm-hmm. and I couldn't move my head to the left or to the right. It was a real bad accident. and he was showing how much he cared for me. See, when you're in a marriage, it's so much deeper than the sexual part. I mean, suppose your spouse get injured and they're never the same.
Right.
Oh, I'm out.
Nope.
I'm out of here.
Nope. Stay your
I
tail in
can't
there.
do it.
Stay right
You
there.
know, so different things will come in your marriage to check and test what you say that you know, the love that you say that you really have. Different things will come. And so when I saw that, I was like, man, okay, I think I'm going to keep him. Yeah. He also laughed. It's okay. But I just want to say that I appreciate that because I was able to see how much he really, I mean, he was able to express that because I couldn't do anything for myself, basically. All right. For a while. All right.
All right.
All right. That was too heavy for y'all.
How much time we got?
Have no idea. We
I
have
have
all
no
night
clocks.
because, yeah.
I don't have no clocks. I told y'all we need to regulate, because any bona fide teacher know not to start a thought and not finish it.
Looks like we have 3 minutes.
Well, I'm gonna start another thought. So, all right. Okay. So that was a good question. We like the Q&A on different things like that, and that's a huge. Now let me say this, because I'm looking at some of you all in that area. You got degrees. You know what? Psychology, psychiatry, stuff like that. You know, things like that.
You like
know,
psychology too?
Yeah, you know, and like, you know, and they sitting there and they didn't run away when I gave them the light that wherever you are, all you doing is finding out what the world is doing, what they telling people, so you can give them the light. That's it. You don't go tell them stuff that come from darkness and try to fix it. You are learning the systems, how they work, and like medical industry, they're actually learning how bodies work. All right, right? And what to do. But if a person is born again, got light in them, and they're not trying to keep people on medication. They're trying to get them to a place of wholeness. And the medical industry want to keep you on medication. Y'all see the difference now? So you in the area of counseling and you giving darkness for answers, people never they're not getting better.
They will never break free, and the cycle will continue.
It'll continue on.
Over and over again. They're wondering why are we still getting the same thing? Because we're still giving the wrong answers.
Still giving darkness.
Right.
You know, but if you got light in you, you'll learn those systems and work your way in so you can be put in the position of giving light. That's it. I mean, other than that, why do it? For what?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty tough.
Yeah.
We can talk about this a little bit later, but
Right.
especially as a nurse, if you're in that industry, and we know what the pharmaceutical industry is doing.
Right. That's a good example.
There's a thin line of what you can and cannot say.
Right.
You know that there are some natural things that a person can do. So, but we won't be able to get into all of that.
Well, it's a mess. Basically, in an industry where you making money and good stuff and stuff like that's going on, I can guarantee you the devil got his journals in there and they running it. So we're gonna end this starting on this. We're just gonna breaking free from seducing spirits, soul ties. So this is gonna be our next point of interest that we're going to study the scriptures on. And seducing spirits, what we got in there? Seducing spirits use seducing spirits. You see, seducing. Everything out here in the media, in this culture, is very sexual, seductive, right?
Yes.
And it's getting so common now that it's not even, it don't bother people no more.
Right.
That's what we saying earlier. Some men and women, you get buck naked, and so I see that all the time. Now what? You know, so now they got to go do it. It's go farther and farther and farther until it's destroyed. The enemy. Go ahead.
And the lie that, well, you may as well let your children see it anyway because they're going to see it. You know, we have a responsibility to protect them, you know, so that their minds don't get inundated.
Contaminated.
Yeah, with everything that's going on. So because they're growing up with Wi-Fi, you know, I mean, they know how to get in and out of these
porno sites.
Yeah, these sites and everything. That's why we have to make
and
sure.
And the porno sites know how to get in and out of them whether they want it or not. It's showing up on them phones.
Right.
Yeah. And with that, well, you know, they're going to see it one day.
That's what
Okay, let the one day be after you have taught them and have them grounded in the word so they'll know how to resist.
Yeah.
And they'll know how to flee. They'll know how to rebuke stuff. They'll know how to uproot stuff up. But if you show them stuff, people doing that because they don't know how to do it. I find that most parents are letting their kids do stuff that they haven't conquered. And where they feel guilty because, well, I did it, so I ain't gonna stop them from doing it. I had to make my man. No, if you had some knowledge, you never would have did all that stuff. Ain't no way, no, you wouldn't have done it. And if there's more knowledge today, each day we have a continuing increase in knowledge. So those kids, you got to teach them, train them. I talk to my sons, my younger ones now. I said, look, I don't want y'all going down this road. I'm going to teach you this. It's best to talk to them and don't try to hide it. I'm seeing it all the time. I'm waiting on you to come tell me. I'm waiting on you to come tell me and talk to me about this before I come to you and I bring it to you. Don't sit up here and lie. I'm not going to knock you out. I'm not going to kill you. Just talk. And because I want to show you that you got to live this life for yourself. And you don't need to be exposed to something, just like a lot of dating occurs before the boy or girl are ready to handle that. Now, I used to be VP for 10 Point Coalition here in the city, and we had access to the schools. But when the Shelby County schools have just much problem city school does. And what was going on was that these young girls were dating they 16, I guess they can date. No, was dating too early, and these little boys just want to jump on top of as many girls as they possibly can. The girl go in, she thinking because she gonna commit emotionally. It's chemicals in a female's body that cause her to bond emotionally when she just designed, and then when she get in a relationship, she bonded. He ain't bonding, he just want to hit it and go somewhere and hit somebody else. Now they filming it and putting it on their YouTube channels and stuff. And what was happening then was that they couldn't handle the stress of being rejected. And they find out he would hit over here and over there, so they was turning to lesbianism. And
committing suicide.
And having babies. An economics teacher, I ain't gonna call the school out in the county, told me her students, her girls wanted to get pregnant and have a baby before they got in 11th grade. Wanted to. And all of it was coming from being rejected in a relationship because they weren't ready to handle that. So we teach our children things based on their maturity, and you preparing them in the knowledge, because when they confront them, you won't be there to say no for them. You don't control their will. But if they got the knowledge in them, then at least you equip them to deal with it like they need to deal with it. Okay? All right, so seducing spirits use soul ties to control masses of people. We're going to get into that. Let's just mention some stuff we're going to get into. Let me see here. Soul ties are spiritual, emotional, and what else? And physical.
Attachments to another
person. See, spiritual, emotional, and physical attachments to another person. Seducing spirits are binding you to soul ties. They are controlling you. Soul ties form a bridge into the demonic world. Through intimacy, souls become tied together, and we're going to go in scripture and show you where it happened. See, when you have sex with somebody, soul ties form. And people getting so callous, conscious, and the mind's getting so bad now, they jumping around everywhere. They don't think something is happening, but it's happening whether they know it or not. And if you do the dirt, you're gonna have to pay. Some people need counseling because they got all these soul ties everywhere. Want to be player. Now they trying to figure out why they confused about stuff. And you check the history, they've been all over the country and all over the city and everywhere doing these things, and they're enacting and engaging these spiritual laws that's been set here by the Creator. So we're going to get into scripture. We're going to show you how music is one of the main avenues, vehicles that's used to form soul ties. You know how people want to be like Michael. No, I ain't never saw no Michael Jackson. They don't straighten their hair out. And did this and did just hear the music, and they got to be like him. Or today, that's why they show you images and dance to go with it. Once the soul tie is there, then they get your money. And people go spend $1,000 for a concert and don't have 2 pennies in an investment account, savings account, or shoebox, nothing. That's how dangerous and strong soul ties are. So we're going to get in that and look at it in marriage, lawful soul ties, unlawful soul ties, what's the purpose behind it. We're going to show you even what music would use to pierce the soul in the book of Genesis 4:24 in the original language. We're going to look at some things. So I don't see no point in rushing trying to get to it. So we appreciate everybody, right?
Yeah, I guess we appreciate everybody.
We through.
Yeah, we do.
We through. Like the channel, YouTube Livers. Subscribe, please. We do have a video that Dr. Renee and I taught on soul ties. I can't stop thinking about them. Search that, and you can study.
On EOFKC. That's our channel, our YouTube channel.
EOFKC, our YouTube channel. You can go there, type in my name, and it'll pull up. It's one of our most watched videos that we have out there. That totals a whole lot. So we're believing for the best for you in relationships, not only marriage, but being single also, that you get more knowledge, that you be ready to go into what you get ready to say, I do too. Here is one I do or marriage I want to present to you, and it is being reconnected to your position of dominion and right position of righteousness with the Father. That's the reason why Yeshua, the Messiah, called Jesus Christ, came, and that is to restore us back to the place that we fell from. We never fell from heaven. We fell from our position of dominion and righteousness on the earth. In order to do that, Yeshua already paid the price that was demanded by righteousness for mankind. And he did that for us. And what you do, you acknowledge that, and you ask him, submit to him as being your Lord, your owner, your Savior, your deliverer. Your spirit will be regenerated based on your belief system on the inside and what you say, and immediately become a citizen of the kingdom of heaven. After doing that, you need to come into the knowledge of the kingdom. So we are spirit-filled. We believe in speaking in the heavenly language of fire. We believe in everything that the scripture teach. Believe me. I use the word Christian very carefully because it's not what it was intended to be. It's a religion. And so when you hear me say things like that, don't get offended. It's a religion. It's not what Yeshua came to start. So I want to make sure that we bring clarity on that also. We're here in Memphis, Empowerment Faith Kingdom Center for Ambassadors. We are a kingdom-centered ministry if you're interested in that, and we'll be glad to be your mentors, your chief teachers, and your pastors.
All right, we want to give a shout out to Abel Lopez. She's on YouTube right now. She says, thank you, I appreciate you good people. Okay, so shalom to you, Abel.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. Okay. Sorry, shalom. Okay, appreciate you so much. We'll be switching over to our congregation only page. We have that page on Facebook. That's why even those on YouTube Live, you're interested in connecting with us, we'll switch over there and say some things to our congregation. And if you're missing out on that, that's the reason why. Until we can get things set up, we can do the same thing on YouTube. Remember, the same thing with the closed group page on the congregation page. If you don't want to go on Facebook, just go on for that purpose. Let's let the kingdom be glorified and let it be used for kingdom purpose. Go on for that purpose so we can talk to you about other things we don't talk about on the other platforms. All right?
Okay, so Abel, when will you be going live again? Abel, click on the bell, and then every time we go live, you will know that we're there. And then also, what else? Yeah, subscribe to the channel. But we will be here on Wednesday if the Father says the same.
Yeah, Wednesdays and you know, when we get to that level of subscribers, we'll be able to go on anytime.
Right.
That's what I do on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
We do Facebook and Instagram. I just want to get this in for us. We do that. We'll be sharing different things that our YouTubers are not getting, and I want you to get it. Okay, so Wednesdays.
Okay, is this a blooper or something? Wednesday at 7:30, and then also on Sundays right now at, is it like 11 o'clock? It's me.
I just passed it.
11 a.m. About 10:30.
Yeah, about 10:30.
10:30 a.m. On Sundays.
Yeah, we do a lot of communication on our Facebook right now. Until we get to that point, like I said, we'll be able to do it on YouTube Live. We appreciate everybody. Love you much. Care for you. Be whole. Be empowered to live a life in the kingdom every day.
All right.